What it do, y'all? This is 713E. It's my Eyeconic Interview with 91 TV. Let's go.
Alright. So, you say you're from Richmond?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Richmond, Rosenberg.
What school did you go to?
So in junior, I graduated from George Wrench.
Okay.
If not for George Wrench being built, when it was time for me to go to high school, I would have been at Lamar.
Right. Okay. I went to Lamar.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's crazy. It's crazy. I know you. I know you.
Where did we first meet? I remember we met again at the at the video shoot.
Exactly.
We had a conversation.
So that was, basically that's like, and I was waiting to get to this conversation, to be honest. You know what I'm saying? But I wasn't. I was just wait till it happened. But that's probably like what, 10 to 15 years, like in between.
Yeah.
This is when what I'm saying. Obviously, I was younger. I think you was probably in the class either with my sister or before.
Who was your sister?
Shauna Gaskin.
And she stayed in Canyon Gate.
Yeah, we from Canyon Gate.
That's crazy.
Exactly.
You look like her. That's crazy.
We used to be at the wreck and shit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Hooping and you know what I'm saying?
That's funny. Yeah.
It's crazy. It's crazy. Me and T, we was talking about it like a couple days ago, cause we was like, cause I realized like, damn, his name is Eric. My name is Eric. I was like, but we know it, Eric though. Like, older Eric. You know what I'm saying? And then we put two and two together. It's like, bro, that is Eric. Like, some shit.
That's funny. It's a couple people I done ran into from just back in the day who just like, oh snap, like that is you. Everybody kind of doing their own thing now. That's what's up though. That's what's up. Okay. So, dang. All right. So then that's dope. That puts a lot of things into perspective. So that was your freshman year going into George Ranch when I had just graduated.
Right. Exactly. Yeah.
Okay. What was the experience like at George Ranch?
Man, it was fun, bro. Yeah. Obviously, being in a new school. When we first went in, it was just two classes, our freshman class, and then the sophomore class ahead of us. And then just growing, each year by year. Obviously, school growing, adding more people. I feel like it was a good mix of where we was coming from Lamar, the actual Rosenberg type feel, to a more like Katy type feel, or like Fort Bend type feel. So it was definitely a PWI for those who don't know, but I feel like we were able to express like our culture freely, and it was accepted, and it made for a really good high school experience, in my opinion.
Yeah, I heard a lot of people say this since it was such a new school. It's like the school itself was still trying to figure things out, so there wasn't too much pressure on the kids. Exactly.
Like we really, and people used to say, like, people in our class that went to other schools like Lamar, Terry, like, and even Foster, Foster being one of the newer schools, district, like, they all knew shit. We really did not do things like on a regular, like standard.
Right.
Like, I don't know, it wasn't on no high school musical type shit. But it was kind of close to it. Like, we really had a lot of like daily schedules and events that like shit. We may be in class and our class for like 15 minutes max.
Right.
And then we off doing something for the rest half of the day or something. You know what I'm saying? It was
like on some performing arts type stuff.
On some performing arts type stuff. Like, we was really big on sports, football, baseball. Pretty much all the sports. As we got older, pretty much got like really serious, and we're really good at it. We got a lot of good athletes. A lot of good performing arts people, agriculture people. Like, it was like a perfect mix of like every type of person that you can like meet in one school.
And it offered something for everybody.
Really
That's live. It's crazy how much high school really does shape, a lot of like what's going on like with you in your life. Cause like for me, I look back on like my days at Lamar. It's like I've always been like who I am right now, but that school didn't give me any real platforms, on that avenue. Like, it wasn't a creative school. I think the most creative thing that I did at that school was probably, being on the step team that we created ourselves, so, but that's dope. So what were the things that you were into freshman year to senior year in high school? When did the music come into play and different things like that?
Man, I would definitely say that high school was it's one of those things I look back on and then, you know, kind of look at what I'm doing right now versus then, and it's like, what the hell? Like, what was I really doing? What was I focused on? And simple fact is that it was sports going in, football, basketball. We was all excited to be, you know, start football. I wasn't so into it to where I went like to the summer camps. I had my own summer hustles and shit going on. And so, but when school started, it was football, basketball. Shit, from my freshman year to sophomore year, I ended up quitting football. Wanted to stay strictly basketball. Also, was playing golf too. Shit, it was really just sports, bro. I was never the academic person. I made good grades. I was in pretty much all advanced classes, you know, throughout high school. So, you know, it wasn't like I was a bad student academically. I was a good student academically, but that wasn't my interest. I was there. You know, I grew up, you know, in a family where it's like I had to earn my privilege to do extracurricular things, you know, outside of just passing to play in school. But with my parents, if I wasn't, you know, excelling academically, shit, wasn't much I can do, you know, outside of school. So it was just one of those things, you know, just being brought up just to do what you gotta do, take care of business. By the time I got to my senior year, you know, the basketball, crazy thing happened. AAU that summer, I broke my ankle, so it really threw me off. In high school, I was hustling, and I don't know, like drug dealing and stuff like that, but like just finding ways to, you know, get money. My senior year, I started refereeing high school sports, right? So.
How you get into that? Is this all George Range? George Range got you into golf and refereeing?
Nah, so
it's a live school.
Yeah, but it was though. I mean, if you really tapped in, you had opportunities to join a lot of stuff. But the golf came from my dad. That was influence from my dad. Nice. He really pushed that for me. The refereeing is my dad and my family, my uncles. Pretty much all of my uncles except for one of them were referees. Okay. And still are. My dad's not referee. My dad was referee, a long time referee basketball. But my uncle, they call him the legendary ref. He's like, if anybody out there familiar with Tasso organization, obviously if you play sports in Texas, you've seen that Tasso thing. My uncle, he's like widely known in Texas as like the legendary ref, you know. So the connection is easy for me to get into that.
Yeah, and you come from a sports family.
And I come from a sports family, you know.
Okay. All right, that's pretty cool. So with you being so big into sports and everything, where did the music influence come from?
So I grew up in church all my life. So, you know, and usually you hear, you know, people, especially black, you know, artists, they, for the most part, got a church background, you know. So nothing different there for me. My dad, he was a music guy. I'm talking about books, not books, but you know them CD cases. Books and books. I keep saying books. Cases on cases on cases. CDs. One thing that he never listened to though was rap. So it was a bunch of soul music, bunch of R&B music, bunch of even some pop music. You know, Michael Jackson, Prince, that type of pop. He listened to pretty much all radio stations except for the rap radio stations.
Do you have a reason for that? He just didn't like it, or was it more to it?
He's an old school person, and I adapt to that same, you know. My music doesn't really reflect the typical rap hip hop of today. It's the older hip hop, you know. I mean, everybody enjoys
a lot of soul to it. That vibe.
I'd rather be on a slow beat than a fast beat.
Right.
You know
I can hear you with the currencies, you know, maybe a Larry June, something like that.
It's crazy because that's what people compare me to, bro. I mean, I've been, not to, you know, put myself on a high pedestal, but my comparisons have been Snoop Dogg, Larry June, Dom Kennedy. Dom Kennedy is one of my biggest inspirations, as well as Snoop Dogg too. I go for the Snoop Dogg appearance, the Snoop Dogg feel, just the genuineness of, you know, what he portrays,
right? And
you know, the type of person he is. Dom Kennedy as well.
You think that stems from your father's influence of his preference of music?
I think it does, man, because I'm a fan of Don Kennedy. Any fans know what he likes, the things that
what they're sampling,
it's all the same thing. So it's all the same taste. And I'll be the first one to say, like, again, I don't really support or rock with a lot of the current waves being pushed right now in rap. I like rap. I love rap. I love hip hop. I love everything about it. But right now, I go against it basically. And I lean towards that R&B, soul, jazzy feel. But I still get the bars off. You know what I'm saying? As if it was '90s rap. Snoop Dogg when he first came in, or Andre 3000. That's another comparison I get a lot. So yeah, when it comes to music, that's where I've always been musically inclined. Grew up playing the drums.
So you're a drummer.
I'm a drummer. I've been playing the drums for my church.
In the church.
Full time since I was a sophomore in high school. 15, 25 now.
So you know how to read music. You understand structure and organization.
I understand structure. Understand organization. I've just been learning how to read music and even write music, and that comes from school.
So how did you, when you were playing in the church back in the day, how did you know what to play?
Listening.
Just listening.
Listening and watching.
Listening and just mimic what they showed you.
Mimic it, and that's really how I've taught myself everything. Was watching and listening and trial and error. That's it.
Okay. So let's get a little bit more into everything that you're doing nowadays. Or actually, before I jump too far ahead, let's get back to the music real quick. So you said high school is when did you start making your music? When did you start rapping?
Man, I started rapping in 2017, bro. I started rapping in 2017. A lot of things had happened between graduation of high school in 2017. I was writing lyrics, bro, though. Shit. Probably a little bit in high school. I would rap to, some of the popular songs, the instrumentals, and just have a notebook, and I'd just be, just writing.
When that shift come? What caused that shift of, I'm putting this on the track?
What made me actually start recording music is, honestly, I got fed up with hip hop, with rap, how it was. You're talking about period between 2015 2017. That was a period for me where I felt like, I'm not gonna say 2015. 2015 was a good year of music. That was actually my favorite year of music, was 2015.
Those were some of the last good years.
That was some of the last good years, bro.
Where they started really changing.
Exactly. It was 2016 going to 2017 that got me. And I'm not gonna point any artists out because, I'll say 21 Savage. Prime example. When 21 Savage first came out, I was like, I don't really like it.
I can relate to that. When he first came out, it was comical to me. The gun sounds of the ad-libs and everything.
It was comical. It was more comical than anything.
It was different, and I was one of those real tough hip-hop heads, too. It's just I like what it is. I'm not too embracing of the new stuff. I love 21 now.
I love 21 now. and that's why I use him as an example, because I don't want to throw no dirt on nobody's name. I'm hating, because I'm not hating. I use him as an example because when he first came in, it was like, oh, this is childish. This is really childish. Like, I don't want to hear this. Like, I know that his beats are good. Obviously, the engineering is good. Not to throw anything away from him, but that just wasn't what I was into. What he was talking about, I wasn't into it. So, and that was a wave for that year. Those couple years, it was a big wave. And I'm like, bro, if I'm gonna listen to this, I know what I've been writing down, and I know what I can do. I know I can. I'm not really a freestyler like Lil Flip. You know what I'm saying, or Zero. I don't freestyle on the level of them, but I can rap. I know I'm musically inclined. I know I could if I wanted to. Another big part of it was my homie CA. CA was rapping, and he was in a time where he was starting to really excel at starting to really take his career to another level. And I straight up went to ask him. I was like, I'm thinking about, rapping. You doing it, like, what would you tell me? And he just told me, he was like, don't do it if you don't really love music. And the thing about it is, obviously I wasn't making no music at the time, but only if you knew me, then you really knew that music was my life already. I just wasn't recording no music.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
That you don't love it.
That don't mean exactly.
And a lot of times, there's a lot of people who are fans that love music so much more than some of these artists who they just found a formula that works and they just creating songs. They don't really love the music.
And you can tell they don't love it.
Mm-hmm.
It reflects.
Mm-hmm.
For music lovers, it reflects. It reflects, you know. And so it was just, for me, it was just like, man, I'm about to just do this. Like, and shit, T behind you, he'll tell you, like, that's exactly how it happened. Yeah. I just got tired of listening to this music and I'm about to make my own.
Okay, so when you first started rapping, I feel like you know, a lot of people, like me for sure, when I first started rapping, it was not about anything. It's just whatever I could put together. I feel like that might be a little different for you. I feel like at the time that you started rapping, you know what you want to say.
I went straight in talking about life. Like, I mean, the music that I grew up to, like, it was either Houston music or LA music. Mm-hmm. And we all know LA hip hop. We all know what hip hop derives from anyway. Mm-hmm. Storytelling, right? So it was all about telling a story. It was all about, and one of my main things was about being real too. Not to discredit anybody who was dropping music at that time of my disinterest, that what they were saying wasn't real. Now, I'm gonna say that I couldn't say that it was all the way factual because you're not on video every day promoting everything that you're saying. If you're doing that, it's pretty stupid, right? So why would you promote, or why would you show shooting, drive-bys, drugs? Or, you know, why would you wouldn't show that. But I'm with that. I'm with rapping about what I'm actually doing. Listen to any song. There's not a single song unless I'm trying to speak something into existence. Right. There ain't a single song where I'm saying anything that didn't happen. You know what I'm saying? And that's really what I believe in. So when I first came in, bro, as all over the place, and I'm quoting James Hoover, engineer. I'm blessed to have a relationship with him. I sent him my first mixtape, asked him to listen to it, give me feedback, and he did. And he told me, like, straight up, he was like, man, it was all over the place. Even when it's all over the place, I can tell you that the lyrics, though, like, if you listen to it and you know me, then you know everything was 100% just facts. It was everything I did, sipping on syrup, smoking weed, you know, entertaining girls. Like, that was my life, and it kind of is my life now, with a lot of other stuff, bigger stuff, you know, added. But at the time when I first started, 2017, that's what it was. I was just trying to entertain people, but keeping it real.
So, tell me, like, how you feel about speaking things into existence in your music. Well,
like I said earlier, I grew up in church all my life, so that's the biggest thing. I'm very spiritual and everything. I believe that there's power in the tongue, and the more I say it, it's gonna manifest. It's gonna happen. It's also a prideful thing too. Again, I believe in making whatever I say come true. So I can't say something and then, like, not work towards it. Like, if it didn't already happen and I'm trying to speak it to existence, if I'm gonna say it and I know that a lot of people heard me say it, I gotta make it happen so I don't look like no fraud. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's a lot of pride behind it. But going back to the spirituality thing, that's what it is. You know, I really believe in that. I'm a God-fearing person. There's power in the tongue, and that's it.
So are you conscious to not say certain things against yourself in your music?
I am, but I still do. Mm-hmm. You know, I think as I got older and more mature, speaking truth has everything to do with pointing out what you don't like and what you don't want that you're doing. Mm-hmm. You know, there's a lot of truth in that. And when it comes to even finding your salvation, you know, just getting back to the little, you know, spiritual thing, church thing, mind you, I said spiritual, not religious, but spiritual. When it comes to finding your salvation, or fixing an issue, same things. You have to acknowledge the problem first. So, you know, there's power in the tongue, yeah. I'm not gonna say that, hey, I'm a slut and I be doing slut things, I'm gonna be a slut. No. I will admit that I've done some slut things, but I'm not the same person I was at the time, right? Like, on a track, New Music on the Way, by the way, on this track, one of the things I point out was, like, this time won't be like the last time. The man I was last time, I left him in my past time.
Is this on Wavy Dogs?
No, it's not released. No, it's
okay.
Not out yet. But even Wavy Dogs, type shit like, I got my mind right, you know what I'm saying? Or tap into a whole new mentality. That's the first line I said. Mm-hmm. You know, I had to do it silently because all my moves too challenging. Like, you know, I will admit I had challenging times, but those challenging times are what got me to where I'm at right now. Able to excel in a lot of the areas that, in 2017 when I first started, even before 2017, I wasn't that strong as. But I will make it a point, make it an effort to point those problems out, situations, let people know where I came from, just like everybody else would. I came from this, I came from that, and I'm here now. So.
Okay, so let's get a little bit out of the music and tell me a little bit about Immense Fortune.
So Immense Fortune it started off as a brand that me and T started in 2015. Derived strictly off of, and this kind of goes back to coming out of high school, going to college, not really knowing what I really want to do. You know what I'm saying? I know my strengths, but I don't really know how to push them. I didn't know what avenue I was gonna, use them in. So shit, we just man, we gotta do something new. We gotta do something new, man. What we gonna do? We both into fashion, you know what I'm saying? So shit, let's start a fashion line, bro. You know what I'm saying? And when we said that, it was, let's start a fashion line, bro. It wasn't, let's start Immense Fortune. It was just to start a fashion line. So it got to, okay, bet, it's gonna be fashion. We gonna, make a logo or make a design, sell t-shirts, whatever. End up, maybe a week or two later, came up with the name out of 30 names or 50 names that we both brought to the table. Immense Fortune just stuck. That was 2015, 2016. What was it, March? Come up with our first release. Shout out to my boy, my cousin, my boy, my friend. He's a lot to me. Jerome, he was a big part of our startup too. He helped me research and getting trademarks, patents, DBAs, all that type of stuff. The real actual business legitimacy. He helped with that, and so that's how it came about. 2016 selling shirts, 2017 selling shirts. Then 2017 came. Definitely started to, grow up and started to realize the things that I valued, the things I didn't like, i.e. the music that was coming out, all that type of stuff. School was a test. It was becoming hard I was an engineer major going into TSU, and I eventually kind of fell off from that. And I got into straight, just business and entertainment. It was, let's get these shirts off, let's make this money. Me in 2017, we picked up, cameras. And started doing photography, and we were experimenting and we were having fun with it. It was so fun, so exhilarating, so eye-opening that it literally, God literally, man, it was, I went from the semester before having the best GPA that I've ever had in college to completely stop going to class. It was that powerful. It just took over. That was soon 2017. Started doing doing photography. A couple months later, that's when I started going to the studio, recording and stuff like that, making the music.
So where does the 713 lifestyle get into play?
So as we continue down the line with Immense Fortune, expanding and stuff like that, these are crucial years of me literally finding out who I am and my purpose in life. A lot of expansion, a lot of different experiments. Experiments and experiences. And I started working with Marvin, CEO Supervision. Supervision is the company. I started working with him, marketing and management. He wasn't really doing management for me, but he was helping me with marketing. And basically, this was a time where he was showing me not only the music business, but showing me how to actually build a brand for me and my music. And that was 2019. Started off in the summer, and that's when I birthed the 713 lifestyle. He showed me again how to really tap into what I was doing and really create be able to label it, brand it the way we branded Immense Fortune. But I was able to brand me outside of Immense Fortune, and it became the 713 lifestyle, which is all of my abilities and skills and niches, professional abilities, and even, just extracurricular abilities, bring that all into one, being able to showcase and express who I really am as a person and doing it through my artistry. And that's how 713 Lifestyle came into play.
So as of today, what moves are you making just moving forward as an artist? 'Cause I know you, like I said, you have a lot of different things going on. I know you do have the new single, Wavy Dogs, and you said more unreleased music. What else can we look forward to this year?
Man, other than the music, to go into the music, I just want emphasize some key improvements that I would want to make. This is going to be my first studio album, and when I say studio album, for those who don't know, it's more so the professionalism behind the creation of the album.
Right.
Making sure that the production is professionally orchestrated. Make sure that the mixing and mastering is consistent throughout the entire project. I've never had a project like that where it was consistent. The visuals are in place. The public relations are in place. Everything. I've never had a project where everything was right before I pushed it. And that's gonna be a difference with this project, is that everything's gonna be right before I put it out. And that's what's gonna make it my first debut album,
And what's the name of the album?
Summertime in Houston 2, which is a second installment of my first mixtape, which was, I'll again point out, all over the place, but this is different. Like I said, this time ain't like the last time. Improvement, so like I said, just preparation, professionalism, and then even, getting out there in the city and with my features and stuff like that, people working with me, productions, getting bigger names and stuff like that, just making it to where the experience for the listeners and the audience is much greater than even when I dropped my last single, which is Wavy Dogs. I want to make sure that people are able to feel, not only see, but feel the improvement, when they listen to it, when they see my music videos, when they see this interview, even when they see me, out in public, what I'm saying? I want them to be able to feel and connect with everything I'm saying now to what I've been saying in my music and to what's about to come. Outside of music, it's business, with Immense Fortune, steady expanding, just continue to grow the team. We in double digits as far as, staff members and stuff like that, which is good. We just actually relaunched our brand. We did a full year rebranding. Thank God for the pandemic. Gave us the opportunity to really tap in and rebrand. Just relaunched in December, and 2 months in, man, we killing it. We've been doing better than ever. And so overall, it's just about improvement. Taking everything that, has derived over the last, 6 years? Almost 7 years, 2022? Yeah, 7 years. Taking all those things and being able to put it into one and make it, just make it stronger than what it was last year. Like I said, one thing that T always tells me and reminds me of is that these people have to always be engaged in what you're doing. They have to be able to feel like they know you, even if I think that, they already know me from back then. You know what I'm saying? But nah, like the way the game is right now, when I say the game, I mean the industry, whether it's music or entertainment, period, the way the game is right now, it's so easy to forget, you know what I'm saying, about a person or about what this person has done. So I want to make it a point moving forward that whatever I do, whether it's dropping clothes, new samples, new merch for the album or new album, the way my photography skills, elevate, the way my business, I'm a CEO and owner, like the way that I even do business, all that has to elevate, the way I talk to people, the way I respond to people, the way I listen, like everything that makes me who I am has to see improvement. And I just want people to be on the lookout for that, not nothing in particular, but just improvement. I want to make sure that if you go back to my last piece of content and do some research on that, you look at what I'm doing now and what's gonna come in the near future, you'd be like, yeah, like I see it, I feel it.